Life has a funny way of changing destinies. Sometimes, all it takes is one brave step and a tiny voice asking for help. This is not just a story. It's a journey of courage, compassion, and unexpected love, told the Nollywood way. If this story touches your heart, makes you smile, or reminds you to never give up on kindness, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more powerful stories like this. Now, sit back, relax, and let the story begin. The headquarters of Obafemi King's Holdings stood tall like it knew it was rich. The building gleamed under the Lagos sun, floor-to-ceiling glass, bronze frames, and a massive digital screen outside flashing stock numbers and motivational quotes like "Think big" or "Go home." Inside, the air conditioning was doing overtime. The reception area looked like a page from a luxury magazine. Polished marble floors you could see your destiny in. Neutral-toned sofas with splashes of Ankara pillows. Gold-trimmed coffee tables that nobody dared to touch. Soft Afro jazz playing gently as if even the music had money. Staff moved around briskly, heels clicking, suits sharp, everyone smelling like confidence and imported perfume. Then suddenly, shh, the glass doors opened. Conversation died. A small girl, thin as tomorrow's hope, stepped inside. Her dress had seen better days. Her hair was neatly braided but tired. One of her slippers was slightly broken, flapping with each step like it was also struggling in life. She stood there, blinking, overwhelmed by the cold air and the smell of wealth. The security man frowned. "Hey, where's your parent?" She swallowed hard. Before fear could catch her, confidence grabbed her hand. She walked straight to the reception desk. The receptionist, a lady with perfectly laid wig and lashes that could fan a generator, looked down and gasped. "Jesus, small girl, are you lost?" The girl shook her head slowly. Her voice came out small but firm. "Good afternoon, auntie. Please, I want to see the owner of this office." The receptionist blinked twice. "Owner? As in CEO?" "Yes, ma. What for?" The girl's eyes filled instantly. She tried to hold it in, but tears escaped anyway. "I want job." Somebody dropped a pen. One staff whispered, "Is this a prank?" Another muttered, "Which kind of motivation speech is this?" The receptionist leaned forward, lowering her voice. "Sweetheart, this is not supermarket." The girl wiped her face with her sleeve. "I can sweep, I can mop, I can wash plate. My mommy is sick. I don't want her to die." The words landed like thunder. Even the air conditioner seemed to pause. At that moment, the CEO's office door, made of smart glass with wooden frames, slowly opened. Mr. Damilola Kingsley stepped out, tailored suit, wristwatch worth a plot of land, phone pressed to his ear. "What's all this noise?" he asked casually. Everyone froze. The little girl turned. She looked up at the tall man, and without waiting for permission, she walked straight to him. Security gasped, "Hey!" She stood in front of him, trembling, eyes wet, heart pounding. "Uncle, are you the owner?" Damilola frowned slightly. "Onake? Yes, I own it." She took a deep breath. Then she said the words that would change both their lives forever. "Please give me work. My mommy is very sick. I don't want to be orphan." The billionaire forgot his call, forgot his meeting, forgot that people were watching. For the first time in many years, money had no answer. And that was how destiny cleared its throat and said, "Let me enter." The silence after the girl spoke was heavy. The kind that makes even rich people uncomfortable. Mr. Damilola Kingsley stared at her like she had just quoted a line from a movie he didn't know he was acting in. Security cleared his throat. "Sir, should I—" Damilola raised a finger. "Don't." The little girl stood still, hands clasped, eyes hopeful but afraid. Her tears had dried, leaving white lines on her cheeks like chalk marks of suffering. "What is your name?" he asked softly. "Zainab, sir." "How old are you?" "7. I will be 8 by God's grace," she added quickly. Somewhere behind them, one staff whispered, "This child has better faith than my landlord." Damilola almost smiled. He crouched down to her level, ignoring the expensive trousers that had never touched a dusty floor before. "Zainab," he said gently, "who told you I give jobs to children?" "Nobody," she replied. "But people say rich people can do anything." That one entered his chest like a quiet slap. He stood up slowly and turned to the receptionist. "Clear my schedule." The PA's mouth opened. "Sir?" "But the board meeting." "I said clear it." In Nigeria, when a billionaire changes his voice like that, even meetings fear cancellation. The walk to the office. He led Zainab into his private office. The smart glass turned opaque behind them. Zainab gasped. "Uncle?" "This door is doing magic." He chuckled. "It's just technology." She nodded seriously. "Okay. But it's still magic." The office swallowed her whole. The leather chairs looked bigger than her bed at home. The bookshelves were full of titles she couldn't pronounce. A giant artwork of a golden map of Africa hung proudly on the wall. She stood near the door, afraid to touch anything. "Sit," Damilola said. She sat at the edge of the chair like it might arrest her for trespassing. The question that changed everything. "Tell me about your mother." Zainab's lips trembled. She coughs at night. Sometimes blood comes. She says it's nothing, but I know it's something. Damilola's jaw tightened. "How long has she been sick?" "Since Daddy died." That was it. The room went quiet again. No air conditioner sound, no city noise. Just a man who had bought everything except peace, and a child who had nothing except courage. Damilola rubbed his face. "Have you eaten today?" She shook her head. "I ate yesterday night. Gari." He exhaled sharply. "That's not eating." He pressed a button on his desk. "Cancel all calls. Bring my car." The intercom crackled. "Yes, sir." Zainab looked confused. "Uncle, am I hired?" He laughed. A real laugh this time. "For now," he said, standing up, "your job is to eat." Her eyes widened. "Eat where?" He grabbed his jacket. "At a place where chicken does not look worried." She smiled for the first time, and somewhere deep inside Mr. Damilola Kingsley, a man who measured life in profit and loss, something soft finally woke up. The black SUV rolled out of Obafemi King's holdings, smooth and silent like it was floating on money. Zainab pressed her face to the window, eyes wide. "Uncle, are all these houses one person's house?" Damilola glanced at her and smiled faintly. "No, different people." She nodded thoughtfully. "Okay, so everybody here is rich except us." He laughed, properly this time. The car stopped in front of Aurelia Bistro, a high-end restaurant in Lekki with modern Nigerian interior design, earth-toned walls with adire and asoki patterns, hanging brass lamps shaped like calabashes, wooden tables polished like they went to school abroad, soft Afrobeat playing like background prayer. As they entered, every head turned. Not because of Damilola. People were used to seeing rich men, but because of the small girl holding his hand. The hostess bent slightly. Good afternoon, sir. Table for two? Zainab whispered loudly. Uncle, why is everybody greeting us like we are a wedding couple? Damilola nearly choked. Please, don't embarrass me. They sat. The waiter handed them the menu. Zainab stared at it like it was a mathematics exam. Uncle, she whispered, this food has no price. Is it free? Damilola smiled. Nothing here is free. She nodded slowly. Then let me be careful. What would you like? The waiter asked politely. Zainab pointed cautiously. Uncle, how much is this rice that has green things on it? That's jollof rice with herbs. She shook her head. Add plain one. Herbs might increase the price. Damilola burst out laughing. I'll have the grilled chicken platter and jollof rice. And for her, she quickly interrupted. Uncle, chicken that is plenty, not the one that is hiding. The waiter smiled, trying not to laugh. When the food arrived, Zainab stared. The chicken was golden, confident, sitting proudly on the plate. She whispered in awe, this chicken lived a good life. She took a bite. Her eyes closed. This food is not shouting pepper, she said softly. It's talking gently. Damilola watched her eat slowly, carefully, like someone afraid the food might disappear. You can eat, he said. Nobody will beat you. She nodded and ate faster. After a while, she looked up. Uncle, can I keep some? For later? For my mommy. That was when he looked away. He called the waiter. Pack extra. Plenty. As she ate, she talked. About her mother selling pure water. About school she stopped going to. About nights when her mother coughed till morning. Sometimes, she said quietly, I pretend I'm asleep so mommy won't know I'm crying. Damilola swallowed hard. When they were done, Zainab wiped her mouth neatly. Uncle, thank you. For what? For not shouting at me. He stood up. Zainab, he said, we are going somewhere else. Her eyes widened again. Another restaurant? No. Hospital? He nodded. She held his hand tightly. Okay, but uncle, if doctor asks for money, tell him we will pay later. Damilola looked at her, and for the first time in years, his wealth felt like it finally had a purpose.
The hospital stood quietly under the fading Lagos sun. Paint a little tired, generator humming like it was also stressed, nurses moving with the seriousness of people who had seen too much. As the SUV stopped, Zainab tightened her grip on Damilola's hand.
Uncle,
she whispered, please don't leave me here. He squeezed her hand. I'm not going anywhere. Inside, the smell of antiseptic mixed with fear and hope. The reception area, plastic chairs arranged like a government meeting. No comfort, only patience. Zainab's eyes searched every corner. I know this place, she said quietly. This is where mommy comes when she's too weak to sell water. That sentence alone told the whole story. The first obstacle. At the desk, the nurse adjusted her glasses. Card? Zainab froze. Damilola leaned forward. No card yet. Emergency. The nurse sighed. You know how it is, sir. Doctor won't see her without... Damilola gently placed his black card on the counter. The nurse's tone changed immediately. Oh yeah, follow me. Zainab's eyes widened. Uncle, that card has authority. He smiled sadly. Too much. The ward. They entered a small ward. Zainab's mother lay there, thinner than memory, eyes sunken but still gentle. When she saw Zainab, she struggled to sit up. Zainab, where did you go? Zainab ran to her. Mummy, I brought help. Her mother looked at Damilola, confused, embarrassed. Sir, I don't know how to thank you, she said weakly. I don't even know how she entered your life. Damilola shook his head. She entered mine. The doctor's words. The doctor came in, serious face, file tucked under his arm. Advanced infection, he said. She needed treatment long ago. Zainab held her breath. Will she die? She asked suddenly. The room went still. The doctor paused, then spoke carefully. She came just in time. Zainab exhaled loudly. Thank you, God. I will behave now. Even the doctor smiled. A quiet promise. As the nurse prepared the IV, Damilola stepped aside, eyes burning. He looked at Zainab's mother. "You won't worry about bills," he said firmly. "Focus on getting better." Tears rolled down the woman's face. "God will bless you," she whispered. "You didn't just save me, you saved my child's heart." Zainab walked up to him. "Uncle." "Yes?" "If my mummy gets well, I will sweep your whole office for free." He laughed softly. "No sweeping." "Then what?" He knelt again, meeting her eyes. "Then you'll go back to school, and your only job will be to grow." She nodded seriously. "Okay, but I will still visit." As the machines beeped gently and life slowly returned to the room, Damilola realized something. All his life, he had been rescuing businesses. That day, a child rescued him instead. Morning light crept softly into the hospital ward, painting the walls pale gold. Zainab sat upright on the plastic chair, legs dangling, schoolgirl serious, watching the drip count like it was an exam she must pass. 1, 2, 3. She frowned. "This water is too slow. Tell it my mommy is waiting." Her mother smiled weakly for the first time in days. Outside the ward, Damilola stood on the phone. "Yes." "Cancel that trip." "No, this one is more important." He ended the call and leaned against the wall, surprised at himself. For once, profit could wait. Small wins. By the third day, the coughing reduced. By the fifth, her mother could sit up without shaking. Zainab noticed everything. "Mommy smiled today," she announced proudly. Yesterday she only smiled inside. The nurses had grown fond of her. One joked, "Small madame, are you the doctor here?" She shook her head. "No, I am the hope." Even the tired generator outside seemed to hum softer. The unexpected visit. One afternoon, Damilola arrived with a paper bag and a bright backpack. Zainab's eyes widened. "Uncle, did you rob a school?" He laughed. "No, I went shopping." Inside the bag were notebooks, pencils, a lunchbox, and a pair of shoes still smelling of new beginnings. "For when you go back to school." Zainab touched the shoes like they might disappear. "Mommy," she whispered, "see, my future has packaging." Her mother's eyes filled with tears. A conversation between adults. Later that evening, Damilola sat beside the woman's bed. "I lost my parents early," he said quietly. "I grew up fast and lonely." She listened. "When Zainab walked into my office," he continued, "I remembered the boy I was, standing outside doors I couldn't enter." She reached for his hand. "Then God sent her to open one for you," she said gently. He nodded. Going home, but not the same. The discharge day came with smiles and relief. As they stepped outside, Zainab inhaled deeply. "Mommy, the air outside hospital is sweeter." Damilola opened the car door. "Come, let's go home." Zainab tilted her head. "Our house?" He paused, then smiled. "Not yet." The new beginning. They arrived at a quiet, warm apartment. Not flashy, but comfortable. Modern Nigerian design filled the space. Soft, earth-toned walls, woven chairs, framed photos of old Legos, sunlight everywhere. Zainab spun around. "Uncle, this house is smiling." Her mother sat down slowly, overwhelmed. "This is temporary," Damilola said gently, "until you're fully strong." Zainab looked up at him. "Uncle, are we still poor?" He knelt. "No," he said softly. "You were never poor. You were just waiting." That night, as Zainab slept peacefully for the first time in months, Damilola stood by the window, Lagos lights blinking like distant stars. For the first time in his carefully planned life, love had entered without an appointment, and it decided to stay. The morning sun hit Obafemi King's holdings like it had a secret to tell. Inside, the office hummed with activity, emails pinging, phones ringing, heels clicking on marble floors, but nobody noticed the tiny figure walking confidently behind Mr. Damilola Kingsley. Yes, Zainab, barefoot warrior of courage, was now part of the billionaire's life. As they entered the office, whispers spread like wildfire. Who is that small girl? Why is she following the CEO? Is this a new intern program? One junior manager muttered, "This child must be a magician. Only magic can enter here without appointment." Zainab, however, marched forward, hands clasped, chin high, as if she owned every expensive chair in the building. She stopped in front of the water cooler. "Uncle, this water looks weak. Can it be stronger?" Damilola shook his head, laughing. "Don't teach them too much yet. They might unionize." Later that afternoon, Damilola sat in his office, the city lights of Lagos reflecting on the glass wall. Zainab had just finished telling him a story about her mother trying to sell pure water while coughing through the night. He realized something. She wasn't just brave. She was family. Pulling out the paperwork, he smiled. "Zainab, how would you like to officially be my daughter?" Her eyes widened, tears threatening to spill. "Uncle? Really?" He nodded. "Yes. No one can ever take your family away again." She threw her small arms around his leg. "I knew you were my uncle for a reason." From the office window, some employees were now watching, some whispering, "The CEO just got a daughter? Is this for real or a marketing stunt?" The gossip would last weeks, but Damilola didn't care. Zainab was home. Life at the office changed. Zainab tried the swivel chairs. She declared the conference room her playground and the photocopier a dragon she must tame. One day, she asked the accountant, "Uncle, if you make mistake with numbers, do the numbers cry?" The accountant nearly fainted. Damilola watched, amused, heart fuller than any bank account could make him feel. He realized that wealth without love is just decoration. That evening, back at their apartment, Zainab and her mother sat side by side, sharing stories about the day. "Mommy," Zainab said, hugging her tight, "we will never be poor again." Her mother smiled, tears shining. "No, baby, but more importantly, we will never be alone again." Damilola joined them, quietly standing behind, hand on their shoulders. For the first time in his life, he didn't just feel rich. He felt full, and that was the moment a new family began, not by blood alone, but by courage, love, and destiny.
The Lagos sun poured golden light into the apartment, making the earth-toned walls glow like they had stories to tell. Zainab bounced around the living room, her braids swinging like little victory flags. "Mommy, Uncle, today I will show you my homework and also teach the plants to dance." Her mother laughed, coughing a little, but the sound was soft and warm, like a lullaby. Damilola, in his crisp white shirt and rolled-up sleeves, shook his head. "Zainab, plants don't dance." "Uncle, maybe yours don't, but mine will." The office scenes at Obafemi King's Holdings, life had turned into a comedy drama. Zainab had declared the CEO's office the kingdom of snacks, and no biscuit was safe. Employees tiptoed around her like she was royalty. Well, she kinda was now. One day, she handed Damilola a business plan scribbled on notebook paper. Step 1, feed everyone. Step 2, hug everyone. Step 3, profit. Damilola laughed so hard, his suit jacket almost fell off the chair. Even the security guards had nicknames for her, the Tiny Boss or Madame CEO in training. Bonding time at home. Evenings became sacred. Zainab and her mother cooked together, sometimes creating smoke so thick even the fire alarm begged for mercy. Damilola joined in, trying to flip akara like a pro, but ended up making it taste like crunchy heaven with surprise. They laughed so hard, the neighbors would hear and say, "Those Kingsleys are enjoying life, Shah." One night, Zainab looked at the two adults in her life and said, "Mommy, Uncle, I think God sent me trouble so I could find you both." Her mother hugged her. "And I think He sent you courage so we could all be happy again." Damilola smiled quietly, a rare softness in his eyes. "And I think He sent me a daughter, the best business partner I could never plan for." Word of their story spread. Zainab and her mother helped neighbors, gave food to the poor, and even taught small children to read. The office started a Help Zainab Help Others program because apparently children know better than grown-ups sometimes. And Lagos noticed, if a billionaire can be this kind, maybe hope is real. As the three of them sat on the balcony, watching the city lights blink like a million tiny promises, Zainab whispered, "Mommy, Uncle, we are rich, yes, but the best riches are the hugs, the laughter, and love." Damilola nodded. "Never forget this, Zainab. Money builds walls, but love builds homes." Her mother added softly, "And courage opens doors even when you're small." The camera pans to Lagos skyline. Traffic below, stars above, a little girl laughing, a mother smiling, a billionaire finally at peace. Fade out.
If this story made your heart smile, remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more Nollywood-style stories of hope, courage, and a little bit of mischief.